This is the story of Brian Douglas Wells. You may have also heard of him as the pizza bomber. Brian is going to be forced to rob a bank. August 28th, 2003. Brian is working his normal day job as a pizza delivery driver for Mamma Mia's Pizzeria in Erie, Pennsylvania. And the manager or coworker picks up the phone and they cannot understand the phone call. They hand the phone to Brian, so Brian takes his order for 2 pizzas to be delivered to a house on Peach Street. So Brian takes this order like everyday business, delivers 2 pizzas to this house on Peach Street. He arrives at the scene and sees his house, and the door is partially open. So he announces himself. Nobody responds, and he walks in to see if anyone's home. And that's when he meets this woman, Marjorie Dill Armstrong. Marjorie, well, she is a unique character, let's just say. She tells him to have a seat. She'll be right back with his money. So Marjorie leaves the room, and as Brian's waiting for her, to his surprise, he realizes she's not coming out with his money. She comes out with 3 goons. She has Brian Barnes, Floyd Stockton, and William Rothenstein. That's when things get ugly for Brian. They beat Brian up, hold him hostage, and they restrain him and put this device onto his neck. And it looks like a big handcuff with a box welded to it and a bomb inside of it. And they attach it to this man's body. It's around his neck. And then they tell him, this is your key to success. They hand him a scavenger list of tasks he must complete in order to stay alive. The first task he must complete is to rob this PNC bank for $250,000. Once he robs the bank for $250,000, he then is going to follow the other task on this list, and not knowing which one is which, one of them will be a drop of the money, and another one will be a key to unlock and take the device off of his neck to survive and be able to get out of this situation alive. And they let him know, look, we are going to be tracking your every single move you make. If you try anything slick, if you go to the cops, if you tell the bank anything at all, we are not going to play with you. We are just going to unalive you and push the button to end it all. The bomb will go off. Brian has a choice to make. Does he fight them off thinking the bomb is fake? Does he call their bluff and go to the police? Or does he go and rob this bank? He goes to the PNC bank, and they provide him this piece of crap looking shotgun. It's got a curve on the end of it. So Brian uses this shotgun like a cane. The most unthreatening way he can use this, but to have it with him just in case. Goes up into the bank teller, and he doesn't say a word. He just hands her this note, and it says $250,000 or things get ugly. The bank teller, she knows this is not a joke. She frantically gathers whatever money she can get, and she's unable to get into the bank vault on that short a notice. She cannot get $250,000. She did get him like $8,700. Nowhere near what he's supposed to get. Brian takes the bag of money, cane-looking shotgun in one hand and the bag of money in the other, and he walks out of the PNC bank. Gets in his car and he drives away. And then Brian stops at a remote area to look at the scavenger list to see where is his next stop at, because if he skips a step, if he makes one wrong step, he's done. Looking at this list in front of his car, bam, he is spotted from the police. Get on the ground, do it now. Brian complies. They arrest him. They treat him like a robber until one cop realizes, wait a minute, what is this suspect on this guy's neck? And that's when they realize something has gone wrong. They call this thing in. They get the bomb squad on the way. The media make it out there. I mean, this is a big deal. The road's blocked off. Everything is chaos in this case right now. So while all of this was going on, Marjorie and her goons were listening to the police scanner. They realized that they'd been compromised and that they had a choice to make themselves. Well, unfortunately, they decided to detonate the bomb. and unalive Brian Wells right there in the middle of the street in front of the police, the media, God, and all. The police knew that this was a much deeper case than they had realized. The FBI got involved, the local police, the state police, everybody was looking for the people involved. After much investigation and much time had passed, they had realized that Marjorie was the ringleader of the case, that Brian Barnes was the gunman, the hitman that was hired to kill her father. William Rothenstein was the brains, and Floyd Stockton the weasel. Let me explain this. It's a very tangled case. Let me break this down. Marjorie has a rich father. Eventually, she has inheritance coming for quite a bit of money. Well, she can't wait. She's greedy, and she wants her money now. Her buddy Brian Barnes says, look, I'll end your dad for $250,000. We can come up with a plan where we can come up with somebody who is forced to rob a bank to pay Barnes to kill your father. We can do that by making a bomb, and we can put that on them, and we can use them as a pawn in this whole situation. One of them states that Brian Wells was involved, that he knew about the neck bomb and willingly robbed a bank with a neck bomb on, which I don't believe that's true. I feel like they just did that to try to save their own neck. They needed somebody to attach this to and force him to rob a bank, to drop the money off at an unknown location, and to find the key to get the bomb and unlock it. And I don't think they ever intended on letting Brian Wells live, because eventually what the FBI had found out was there wasn't even enough time to complete the scavenger list without the bomb detonating. So they set him up for failure. They just wanted to get the money to drop off, and then they were going to unalive him. There was no making it out for Brian Wells. This case got a lot of media attention. They ended up making a movie about it called 30 Minutes or Less, a Netflix documentary called Evil Genius. It even inspired a couple of TV shows. This case was huge. Push comes to shove, they all three flipped on her. Brian Barnes got 45 years, but they've reduced his sentence in half to 22 and a half years to testify against Marjorie. He dies in prison. William Rothenstein, the brains, he gets indicted. Well, the month before he gets indicted, he dies as well. Floyd Stockton, the weasel, he's granted immunity. He goes to Washington State to live his life out in peace until he dies of a respiratory illness. Marjorie was found competent, and she was found to be guilty and was given life in prison. I want to give my condolences to any of those that had a loss of Brian Wells. Also, a shout out to all of those in Erie, Pennsylvania. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.